Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to my YouTube channel or my podcast. I'm Caminada, the multidimensional guide, and I'm here to help you awaken, heal, and expand your consciousness. A couple of weeks ago, I created a poll in my community tab asking which of these dimensions you would like me to do a video about, and most of you voted for 7D. So in today's episode, I will share 7 things about the 7th dimension. I already have a video on 4D, 6D, and a playlist with lots of videos on 5D. I will put the links to these videos in the description as usual. Also, if you haven't already watched the video where I explain a little bit about all the 9 dimensions of consciousness and where this information comes from, I suggest that you watch it either before or after this one, so this will make more sense to you. You can click here or just check the link in the description. Now, before I get into the 7 things about 7D, I want to preface this by saying there's a lot of things that I can share about 7D, more than 7. So if you want to dig deeper into the 9 dimensions of consciousness, not just to learn about them, but to actually live them and experience these states of consciousness, consider joining my program, The Multidimensional Self. New dates have just been announced, and you can check more info and apply at themultidimensionalself.com or click the link in the description. All right, let's start with the basics, shall we? What is the 7th dimension? 7D is the realm of sound. The 7D is the realm of cosmic sound that generates 6D geometric forms by vibrational resonance. So from a vertical and linear perspective from where we are, sound creates sacred geometry. You can see this phenomenon in the study called cymatics. So cymatics is basically the study of visible sound and vibration. A quick search on YouTube and you will find some amazing and hypnotizing videos on cymatics. This also explains the perfectly designed crop circles that we see on Earth. Sound is light vibrating at a lower frequency. Again, from a vertical and linear perspective from where we stand, the realm above 7D, 8D is the realm of light. So the basic idea is that light creates sound. The basic unit of all light is the photon. A photon is the smallest discrete amount or quantum of electromagnetic radiation. As per Einstein's light quantum theory, he proved that light is a flow of photons. The energy of these photons is the height of their oscillation frequency, and the intensity of the light corresponds to the number of photons. Essentially, he explained how a stream of photons can act both as a wave and as a particle. So when waves of light step down by octaves into lower frequencies, 7D sound waves are created. The lower the dimensions, the lower the frequencies. That's not to say that lower means inferior or negative. It just means from our 3rd dimensional perspective, these frequencies have to be really low in order for us to be able to hear sounds with our physical ears. But that doesn't mean that sound doesn't exist beyond our 3D senses and perspective. So with that, we're being reminded that everything has a sound. Everything is sound. Since all is energy, all is sound too. And you probably have heard that you are light, so you are also sound. We are all unique sounds, just like we have a unique fingerprint or a unique soul's blueprint. We are a unique composition of frequencies vibrating at different rates. Sound is the vibration of air molecules, which we measure by pulses per second or hertz. The vibrations of molecules create solidity, sound, color, light, and all living beings. Everything is energy vibrating at different frequencies, so even dense matter like a rock or a crystal has a sound. We just may not be able to hear with our physical ears, which, by the way, when you stop to think about it, our hearing is very limited. Dogs can hear more subtle frequencies than us. The analogy that I like to use is that of the piano. So you have multiple chunks of 7 notes that we call octaves, and you can start playing from the lower pitch or lower frequency to the higher pitch or the higher frequency. And if you keep playing these octaves, it will get to a point when you can't hear or even make the sound anymore, but the sound is still there. So when you put this analogy into the dimensions, the higher you go, the lighter the frequency, but sound still exists and is still and always in motion. So we can say that sound is the way which light travels through. The Pleiadians call 7D sound waves as galactic information highways of light, which essentially says that information equals light travels through quote-unquote corridors, or you can also picture an actual highway if you prefer. String theory might be the science linked to 7D because it also offers a more scientific basis for this concept that was channeled from the Pleiadians. 7D sound is the communication system of the galaxy. The entire Milky Way galaxy is held within an energetic field, which is a torus or toric field, and I talk more about the torus in this video. A similar toric field is also found emanating out from Alcyone in the Pleiades. The toric field sits at right angles to our solar system and creates a huge donut field that extends out past our Earth's sun. The Pleiades toric field is commonly referred to as the photon band of light, which is now activating Earth. This photon band has joined Alcyone, our sun, and the Sirius star system in a synchronistic flow that started 225 million years ago when Earth was selected to seed the galaxy with its biology. Now that our solar system is being activated by the galactic center, Earth is experiencing this 9-dimensional activation, which means we're on the way to the so-called 5D new Earth, which actually means the return to the original plan to have Earth as an active part of the Galactic Federation. The keeper of 7D is Andromeda. Andromeda is our neighbor galaxy, which is now converging with the Milky Way while other galaxies are moving away. It is also believed that Andromeda is the female counterpart of the Milky Way, and the Milky Way being the male counterpart. And so they're on the way to integrating the same way that we integrate our feminine and masculine energies as individuals and collectively. So Alcyone is the central sun of Andromeda galaxy. And as I mentioned, Alcyone has joined our central sun to send us more and more light. In Andromeda, there is no splitting or separation from God or Source or the Creator, whatever you call it. Unlike us here in the Milky Way, but after the end, quote-unquote end of the Mayan calendar, we are now remembering Gaia's biological codes. So basically, because Andromeda retained this biological knowledge, it is considered the keeper of 7D for Earth. Andromeda transmits harmonic records by sound from their library to the center of the Milky Way, and the vibrational intensity of records is rising exponentially. And we can feel this by perceiving things like time acceleration, the rise of the Schumann resonance, and the increase of solar flares, for example. Sound is healing. By now, with all this information, you can hopefully and more clearly understand how sound is healing and why sound healing has been more and more prominent as a healing modality, not just in the holistic spiritual world, but it's also been used in traditional medicine places too. But the truth is that sound healing is an ancient art that spans cross-cultural traditions and history. Those ancient healers were very much in tune with the power of vibrational frequencies. But it is only now within the last 100 years that modern science has been able to validate sonic healing modalities through technology, finding that particular frequencies are indeed responsible for triggering healing responses in mind and body and spirit. So basically, sound has the power to bring your frequencies back into harmony and back into your original unique tone, which I mentioned earlier. Remember, you are sound. But sometimes you may experience disharmony, dissonance, which could mean, in more practical terms, your energy might feel a little off, or you may actually have an illness or a physical ailment. So when you use sound healing instruments and tools such as tuning forks, crystal bowls, Tibetan bowls, gongs, the shruti box, chimes, shamanic drums, then sound travels through your bodies, physical and especially the subtle bodies, the emotional, the mental, bringing harmony and new information that you need for healing, for growth, for evolution, for ascension, for integration. And again, we'll circle back to the way sound carries light from one galaxy to another, bringing that integration too. But one instrument that we may take for granted is the voice. We can use our voice for healing, and one of the ways we can do that is through toning or just sounding. Human toning is the most effective at evoking physiological and emotional response because this human element contains the secret ingredient that no other object or machine could produce, and that is intention. So whatever intention you set and carry in your mind will travel through sound, whether it is your voice or you stroking a crystal ball. And that is because thoughts and emotions also carry sound and frequencies, and they are very, very powerful. Hence, you may have heard about the power of speaking affirmations, of speaking kindly to yourself, to others, and to plants. And also what's coming to mind is this is the reason too why you may get emotional when you listen to a song and the singer is just delivering with a lot of emotions. So their emotions and intention are actually traveling through their voice and reaching your heart. How beautiful is that? And how powerful is sound? And speaking of sound, how does this information about 7D resonate with your heart? Do you feel connected to 7D? Did you have any insight while you were watching or listening to this? Let me know in the comments. I will love to engage with you. And maybe you may feel more connected to other dimensions too. And if you want to find out if that is the case, you should watch this video here. As always, keep shining your light, keep your heart open, and let love lead the way. I love you. See you in the next episode. Bye.